Good morning, children. So now we are going to start with the third poem of your flamingo, that is Keeping Quiet. The name of the poet is Pablo Neruda. Pablo Neruda is the pen name of Neftali Ricardo Reyes Basalto, who was born in the town of Parral in Chile. Neruda's poems are full of easily understood images which make them no less beautiful. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1971. In this poem, Neruda talks about the necessity of quiet introspection. Introspection means to look within, to introspect. Okay? And creating a feeling of mutual understanding among human beings. So please mark the last three lines as the theme of your poem. In this poem, Neruda talks about the necessity of quiet introspection and creating a feeling of mutual understanding among human beings. So in this poem, Pablo Neruda just talks that why we should just keep quiet, okay? And he says that by keeping quiet, this will bring the interest. We are during this quietness, we are going to introspect, we are going to look within ourselves, our follies, our mistakes, and that will create a feeling of mutual understanding. We will just understand each other. As a human being, we are going to understand each other. So he says that this will bring brotherhood, peace in the world. Okay. So what he says, the poet, I'm just going to tell you first the plot, what the poem is about. So the poet invites people all over to come together and suspend their activities till he counts to 12. What he says, that he wants that let us be quiet. He says us to suspend, not to do any work till he counts 12. He wants us all to keep quiet and do nothing. So he says that let's be quiet, let's not do anything till he counts 12. It would be a rare moment in the history of mankind. Fishermen will not harm whales, there will be no preparation for war, there will be no harm to the environment. But the poet makes one thing very clear, that he wants us to suspend activities, not to stop them forever. Because life is meant for action and progress, inactivity means death. So according to him, we should do some constructive activity. He don't want us to do any activity which associates with death. Okay, it doesn't mean that he wants us to sit quietly idly. Okay, he wants us to do some creative, some good activities, and some activity which doesn't associate with death. He does not want death, but he hopes the moments of introspection will help us to move in the right direction only if we stop and think. So he says that when we will stop and think, that will bring the mutual understanding among the human beings. Okay, so let's start with the poem. What does the title of the poem suggest to you? Keeping quiet suggests to you, so means I think it may be quiet to remain quiet. What do you think the poem is about? The poem is about that let's be quiet and let's think our own follies, our mistakes which we have committed in the past. So let's start with the poem. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. So why the poet wants us to count only 12? Why not 13, 14, 15 or any other number? Why not 9 or 10? Because the 12 refers to the zodiac sign. We have 12 months also. The 12 also denotes the 12 number in the clock. It can be anything. This question was asked 2 years back in the final exam, that why what does 12 mean? So you can write that 12 means it can be 12 zodiac sign. You all know the zodiac sign, that Aries, Taurus, Leo, these are the zodiac signs. Okay, it can be 12 number in the clock, or 12 months can be also there. So what he says, that the poet says that let's be quiet till he counts 12. Okay, for once on the surface of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. So he says that let's on the surface of the earth, let be quiet, let's not speak in any of the language. Okay, and he says that let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. He says that let's not move our arms, let's stop all the mechanical work, let's stop speaking also, and let's have the complete silence, okay, around us. So he says, once again I am repeating better, the poet Pablo Neruda seeks each of us to count till 12 and then not to do anything, whether it is talking or moving. He wants everyone to keep quiet and not move at all. In this moment of silence, he wants that we should not speak in any language and not move even our arms. It is in fact at the number 12 when both the hands of the clock unite. Okay, because when it strikes 12, both the hands of the clock comes together, it unites. In the same way, he wants us also to unite like the two hands of the clock. I think the first stanza very much clear to you. Please mark the poetic device also along with it. See here, in the first one we have stop for 1 second. The third line, first stanza, third line, stop for 1 second. This is alliteration. Alliteration means when the same sound is repeated. Sir sound is repeated, so it's alliteration. And next is here your last line of your first stanza, and not move our arms so much. It's pun, P-U-N, pun. Pun means word having dual meaning in the same line. So here, not move our arms so much. Arms is a part of body also, okay, and here arms is a weapon also. We say arms as a weapon also, which is used for destruction. So it can be both meanings are there here. Arms means here two meanings are there, so it's called pun, P-U-N, pun. Okay, so next stanza, it would be an exotic moment. Without rush, without engines, we would all be together in a sudden strangeness. So what you say, that would be very exotic. Exotic was enticing. That would be very enticing moment for all of us. That there would be no rush, no engines would work, no mechanical work is going to take place, and we all will come together. Okay, and that would be a very strange moment for all of us. So the moment when everyone would be quiet would be an exciting and thrilling moment. There will be no rushing of everyday work, no sound of machines polluting the environment. It will be a moment when everyone would be together, but in a strange kind of way. Okay, so I think the second sentence is very much clear to you. So here we have repetition, without rush, without engine. So without is repeated two times, so it's called repetition. Okay, so the second is alliteration. Same second stanza, alliteration, last line, in a sudden strangeness. Sudden strangeness, again sir sound is repeated. So he says that in a sudden strangeness, same sir sound is repeated, so it's called alliteration. Third stanza, fisherman in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hand. So he says that during this time we are not going to harm whales. Whales means fish, or it can be the other meaning, that during this time we are not going to harm nature, we are not going to harm environment. Okay, and The people, those who are gathering the salt near the beach, okay, they will get the time to look at their hurt hands. So the fishermen would also stop for some time and not kill whales. Fishermen in these lines represent the tyrants or killers who do not think about others and carry on with their act of killing or destroying, as we destroy environment or nature. He says that for the 1 second, don't destroy nature, don't destroy environment. They will also stop and introspect the selfish acts that they are doing. The salt gatherers would also stop gathering salt and would get time for introspection, which they never get in the rat race of earning their livelihood. Okay, so in this strange moment, everyone will stop doing the kind of work that they are doing and realize their mistakes. When they get time to introspect, the man gathering salt represents the lower section of society, which is ready to descend to any level in order to earn a living or often end up hurting themselves. So, the man gathering salt can be the people, the low section of the people who are ready to do anything to earn money and often end up hurting themselves also. Okay, so here again we have alliteration hurt hands. Last line, her sound is repeated. So I hope that three stanzas are very much clear to you. So the next stanza is, those who prepare green wards, wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about their brothers in the shade doing nothing. So what he says, that the poet is now referring to the creators of pollution, that who create the pollution. Those who prepare green war means war against environment, as we are just destroying environment, we are destroying nature. Chemical wars, wars with gas and nuclear wars, wars with fire. So these are the people who are just pollute the environment. He wants them also to stop and think over what harm they are doing. We say that the creators of pollution, they are the green wars. It can be wars with gas or wars with fire or nuclear bombs. Okay, so he says that victory with no survivors. So he says that he wants all of them also to stop their work and to introspect themselves, to look their own mistakes. They should stop their brutal work and think positive. These wars would bring only destruction and there would be no survivors to enjoy the victory. So he says that, in fact, because of using the gas, fire, and bombs, obviously one can win the war, but there would be no survival. Victory with no survivors. He says that obviously one can get the victory, one can win, but there will be no one to enjoy it. No people are going to die. So why to do such things which creates a death of anyone? Would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade doing nothing. He says that if no one would be remain, then who would just pass on the message of brotherhood to the next generation? He says that who would just pass on the message of brotherhood to the next generation, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers. To put on clean clothes means harmony, brotherhood, clean clothes, good nature, come together, mutual understanding, all these good values. Who's going to pass on this message to the next generation? So he says that because of the wars, there would be victory but with no survivors. These wars would bring only destruction and there would be no survivors to enjoy their victory.
They should clean their soul of negativity and join hands with other fellow beings. They would also leave the path of destruction for that one moment when everyone would remain quiet. Okay, so in this stanza, what he speaks about the people who just create pollution, who just create wars, but they don't understand that who would just pass on the message of brotherhood to the next generation. So again, let's find the poetic device here. Again, it's repetition. Green war, wars with gas, war with fire, war, word is repeated. Again, alliteration here. See first, second, third, fourth line. Would put on clean clothes. Clean clothes is again alliteration. The next, what I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. So he says that till now we just come to know that the poet just talks about to be quiet, don't move your arms, don't harm people, sit quietly, introspect. These words you have heard till now. So what the poet says that what he wants should not be confused with total inactivity. He don't want us to sit quietly actually. He says that life is what is about. Life is a going on process. It should be regular go on. Life should go on. We can't stop life by sitting quietly. In fact, what he says, I want no truck with death. So what he says, in fact, what does he mean when he says that you don't talk, you don't use, no rush should be there, no engine should work, no mechanical work. In fact, he want us not to do any activity which associates with death. No truck with death means he don't want us to do any activity which associates with death. He want us to do activity, some productive, some good activity for the well-being of the human being. Okay, if we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a use silence. So he says that for once, he says that let's not become so single-minded. Single-minded means don't think about yourself. Don't become so selfish. Okay, don't become so selfish. Don't become so single-minded about keeping our lives to keep our life moving. To we are in spite of thinking about we always think about I should learn, I should become successful, I should gain success. Only I is there. So in spite of thinking I, we should think about we. And for once could do nothing, perhaps a use silence. So he says that for once he want us that there us not to do any work, but he want us to be very silent. Might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. So he says that this use silence can remove all the sadness of our heart, of our soul, and this can bring the understanding among ourselves. And he says that for the first time we are not going to be afraid of death. Again, I am repeating this stanza. The poet then moves on to say that he doesn't want that keeping quiet should be taken as total inactivity, because we will not be inactive. He don't want us to be passive. He wants us to do activity, but it should not be associated with death. We will be inactive physically, but we will be active mentally as we will be introspecting. So he says that apart from this, he wants us to be mentally also very active. Some people might associate it with death, but it should not be done because we might appear to be inactive physically, but we must ponder over our actions and try to evaluate and understand ourselves. We are always busy in achieving our goals and seek to move ahead with the fear of death, thinking how much of our dreams have been fulfilled. Says that we are always think about ourselves, our goals, our success, though we are very much afraid of death, but still we just keep on just chasing our dreams. But we must stop all this and think over what we have gained in life. So he says that in spite of thinking that, we must stop and we must think that what we have gained in life. Okay, I think it's very clear to you. Perhaps the earth can teach us as as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. So he says that perhaps we must learn a lesson from earth. This is very important stanza. It comes that what we learn from the earth. So he says that we must try to learn something from earth. In the winter season, the earth seems to be still and quiet, but something goes on beneath its surface where seeds are lying hidden. They come up in spring and teach us to do our work quietly. Introspecting can be done easily while keeping quiet. It will also help us in regaining our lost vitality and energy and energize us to do our work. So he says that we must learn something from earth. It seems one more I would just like to elaborate this stanza. It's that millions years ago it was believed that the earth was completely destroyed. Nothing was there on the earth. But later on, slowly and gradually, one cell, insect, amoeba, and all these things came to exist. Plants, grass. Slowly, the life took place on the earth. Okay, so in the same way, he says that after this huge silence, okay, we are going to live a new life. Okay, so what he says that as before the before the earth means, or you may say in the winter season the earth seems to be very still, but something goes on beneath its surface and the hidden seeds sprout, okay, in spring, and they teach us something that we should introspect our follies, our mistake, and after this huge silence we are going to live a good life. We are going to live a new life, a life of kindness, a life of understanding, a life of brotherhood and harmony. So he says that we must learn a lot from this keeping quiet. Now I will count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. He says that now let's count up till 12 and he says that let's be quiet and let's go. Okay, so he says that the main theme of the poem is that we must introspect our own follies, our mistakes, that will bring the mutual understanding among human beings. So these two words, normally this question comes that what is the main theme, what is the main aim, why he want us to be quiet. So why we want to be quiet? Introspection and mutual understanding. Once again I will just sum up the entire poem. He want us to be quiet. He don't want us to speak in any language. He don't want us to use any arms or engines or mechanical things. Okay, so he says that during this time fishermen should not hurt any whales or we should not harm any environment, but it doesn't mean that he talks about inactivity. He don't want us to be sit quiet, he don't want us to be passive.
Actually, he want us not to do any work which associates with death. Okay, and that can only bring a good relationship among the human beings. The huge silence. During this time, we are going to ponder, we are going to introspect our follies, our mistakes, and we are going to come close to each other. In fact, he says that we must learn. Earth is a good example. The earth teaches us a lot. Okay, so he said that how the life come into exist on earth slowly and gradually. In the same way, after this huge silence, we all are going to live a good life. Okay, children, I hope you might have understood. Think it out. It's already given you the questions. So I will just give you the assignment with the value points here. Thank you.